Bear with us for a minute. Oh my God, this heartburn is killing me. Hey everybody. Bear with us for a moment. We just getting things together.
I'm coming.
How did I end up with the blue cup?
Because of what you told me yesterday.
What? Oh. You know what?
I had to get rid of that. Hey, Lisa. No, but it's fine. Because I know.
Can everybody hear me? I don't want no problems today. Ooh, my crown. It's like almost invisible.
I'm just waiting for more people to come in.
Ooh, this heartburn. I'm gonna take this crown off. This mouth.
What?
This man's screen.
What about it?
For some reason.
That's fine.
Look like my head is disappearing.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Because it looks different right there. That's why I was asking.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, bye. Hi, bye. You want to say good morning to everybody?
San Francisco.
Say good morning to everybody. Say good morning to everybody, Jomel. Hey, everybody, it's us. Oh, God, this is Prince Jomel. He's up and out and about this morning. Oh, gosh. He is so loving on me today. Okay, you want to get started?
Of course.
Okay. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to our channel. I am His Majesty, and this is Prince Jomel. And right there, who is that?
Y'all know who I am. Joseph McCray.
And together we are the TheMKingz. And welcome to our channel once again. For those of you that are new to our channel, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you comment, like, and share this video with everyone that you possibly can. And to those of you that are new to our channel, we welcome you. Let me just take off these glasses.
My favorite Luther Vandross song is Superstar.
My favorite Luther Vandross song is Creep. Okay, so we decided to come on today because we know you guys know that we normally only come on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. But we decided to come on today because it's Sunday, and just to break up the monotony a little bit. Um, to those of you that are out there that have been experiencing issues with the coronavirus, know that you are in our prayers. To those of you that are not, please make sure that you adhere to the quarantine. It's very, very important, especially in New York City. New York City right now is hit with the most cases of the virus,
In New Jersey.
and New Jersey as well. And so, it's very important for everyone to adhere to the quarantine. Guys, I believe that the longer people don't adhere to the quarantine, the longer this virus is going to be around. You know,
Morning,
it's
Leslie and Ariel.
it's just it's right now it's really dangerous, guys. It really is. Joseph was showing me a video of one of his friends that's working on the front line in the hospital as a nurse, and you should see all the things that he has to put on just to help patients, like 2 masks, right?
Three.
And 3 masks, and three garments, as well as his scrubs, and I'm pretty sure he has to cover his feet and everything. So this is a serious thing, guys, and we really
And
shouldn't be
that
taking
video
it
that went
lightly.
viral of the nurse that quit because they wanted her to go to the corona ward, and she has kids at home and she doesn't have anywhere to send her kids. So it's not like she doesn't want to help people. It's that she doesn't want to contract anything and bring it home to her children, which
Right.
I totally understand.
Yeah, I understand that too. I mean, I wouldn't want to put my kids in danger either, especially if I'm the only one that's responsible. I mean, because what if her kids get sick? And then there's the first reported case of a child dying from the virus here in New York City.
Less than 1 year
Um,
old.
yeah, less than
No,
1 year.
it's Chicago.
Was that
It
Chicago?
was Illinois.
Yeah, it's already one reported case of a child dying. So guys, this is very serious. It is. It's very serious. Joseph and I, we are adhering to the quarantine, only going out when absolutely necessary. That's just to go to the store to get necessities, and that's it. Yes, I mean for some people, you get cabin fever. Uh, because you're not accustomed to being in the house 24/7. But it's something that we have to do in order to, you know, help this thing not spread. So just be careful, guys. Just really be careful. Oh my God, it's just choked up right here. I don't know why. I'm
I'm a
sorry,
back scratcher today.
guys. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, and oh. Yes, Jomel can't
Being
even
in
go
good
out.
health, neither one of us is in good health. He has diabetes and I'm on dialysis.
Yeah,
So we stay in the house
yeah,
because we are more susceptible to it, according to news
yeah.
reports, than we would be if we were healthy.
Yeah, it would be
So,
tragic if either
yeah.
one of us caught the virus. It really would. I mean, although we do live in a large enough space to stay away from one another, if one of us should happen to contract it, it would just be a disaster. It really would. It would be a disaster, guys. And so that's why we're really adhering to the quarantine, because neither one of us want to get sick at all. And of course, we're praying for everybody, including our family, our friends, and of course our knights, you guys. We pray that everything is okay, and hopefully we'll be able to get through this thing soon.
Because I have a few friends that live in New York that have it already. They've
Yeah.
made posts on Facebook that they have it. Um, Unfortunately, somebody I know died from it. And I know somebody else that doesn't look good for them. I know somebody that just beat cancer. She literally just beat cancer. Her cancer went into remission, and bang, she caught the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like, that's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's bad, and people take us as like, I watch somebody stream a live video. There are people sitting in church right now, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, y'all really have a death wish because
Yeah.
y'all think this ain't for real.
Yeah. There was just a minister down in, I believe, Florida that, preached about it being a hoax.
That's
And
fine,
he died. He died 3 days later. He died from the virus, guys. This thing is really, really serious. It's scary. I mean, as much as I try not to watch the news because I get anxiety about things, it's hard not to watch the news because you have to stay up on things. And shout out to all the people that have been just providing us with helpful information and things to do, such as using these different apps to order your food. Joseph and I have made the decision that we're probably going to use one of the apps to order our food. We can order food through Amazon, and then there's another app,
Instacart.
Instacart. But we don't know exactly what's going on with Instacart. Of course, in the news, Instacart employees have gone on strike because of the health conditions and the health concerns. They've gone on strike, and I hope that the company Instacart comes together with some type of negotiable agreement so that these people can get back to work. And safety is first. Anybody that's out there on the front lines, I don't blame you if you make a decision to just think of yourself first. You have to. I mean, this virus is deadly. It is deadly. And the United States right now has the most cases of the coronavirus. At one point in time, it was Paris. Now it's here in the United States. We have the most cases of the coronavirus. I'm pretty sure by now everybody's heard that the president has signed an executive order to disperse this stimulus money. Hopefully, those families that are in need of it, I know I'm sure in need of it, will be able to get that stimulus money soon. The unemployment system is backed up, more than backed up. There's red tape. So, there's people out there, there's families out there that are waiting for unemployment, and they
can't even sign up for it.
They haven't even gotten it yet, and so, it's people sitting at home that don't have any means of buying groceries or getting the necessities that they need, for to feed and their families, and to different supplies such as toilet paper and all the other necessities. I know here where we are, in Rome, New York, we're in a small town, and we went to the grocery store all week, and there's not been any toilet tissue.
Or dishwashing liquid.
Or hand sanitizer, the things that, on a normal basis, you go into the grocery store and it's there. You just walk right past it, but the saving grace for us is that Joseph is on dialysis, and because he's on dialysis, he gets the best medical grade hand sanitizer, and he gets the best medical grade antibacterial soap. So, but for that, we would not have the proper things to wash our hands with.
And I get the best medical grade bleach to clean the machines and stuff, so I can use that around the house.
Yeah, and he gets the mask and everything. So on that, in that category, we're safe. We're very, very safe, and we feel very blessed. I know I'm blessed. I couldn't imagine anything happening to my husband. I couldn't imagine anything happening to him. Yeah, I mean, he went one night to do some sleep therapy at the hospital for one night, 24 hours, and I like to went crazy, me and Joe Mel. That's how close we are, guys. That's how much of a family we are. We're like bookends. Where you see him, you see me. And speaking of that, I'm going to get to what we came on for. As you can see in the description,
But wait, before you do that, Michael asked the question: do you believe God has a plan for each of us, regardless of what happens here on Earth, i.e., the virus? I do.
I do too.
I believe we all have a purpose. We all have a plan.
Yeah.
I believe. I have to say, I believe right now anybody that is dying from the virus, if they unless they did something stupid, like went out and licked the toilet or doing these stupid viral challenges, and even them, I think, and I don't care at any point in life, forget even the virus. When a person dies, it was their time to go. No matter how it happens, no matter what happens, it was their time. Now, unless it's suicide. And even suicide, I've heard of people shooting themselves in the head with a shotgun and still living past that. So I believe when it's your time to go, you're going to go. And I believe,
Stop by.
it's all part of a master plan. I believe we all were born on a certain day, and we all have a death date. When that death date is, we don't know. I don't want to know. I
Yeah,
really
wanna
don't want to know.
Me neither. I don't want to know.
Um,
But
but as much as, and even I had to accept that when my mother died, like it was too much for me to handle. But at the same time, I had to realize that this was what it was supposed to be. Because if she was supposed to be alive, she'd be alive right now. So yeah, I believe there's a plan for all of us, regardless of the virus, regardless of whatever. We all have a plan. I could take it one step further and say, what if it's just the Earth? What if the Earth got tired of us messing with it, and tired of us cutting down all the trees, and tired of us treating the Earth like it was nothing and taking advantage of it? So the Earth is trying to purge us off so she can flourish and grow. I've seen movies like that where the earth just unleashed disease and ravaged people because it was trying to survive. It was trying to survive. So in
Right.
order to survive, it had to kill us off.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a lot of theories you could put behind that. There's a lot of things you could say behind it. Um, but I think this is just something that happened. It's unfortunate that it happened. But
Yeah, well, see, I have a certain belief as well.
hey
Um,
David.
you know, people have often wondered why I say I celebrate death. I don't celebrate death when as far as the tragic way people may die and things of that nature. But I celebrate death because I believe that we are on the ghost side. The real world is on the other side where um, when you pass away, you go off into you go off to another life, a new life that is unlike this one whatsoever. So I celebrate death, and I do believe that you don't leave this earth until your purpose is fulfilled. I mean, there's too many. There's been too many things that have been deaths that have been significant in my life. My father, who passed away in 1990, um, my nephew was born 30 days after my father passed away. And then 15 years after my father passed away, my nephew was killed. And my nephew was named after my father. So there's a lot of significance to things for me. So I mean, for me, it's just a little bit more intricate than that. But yes, I do believe that we all have a purpose, and God has a plan for all of us. And I think that just coming down here as people
Thank you,
and
David.
living on this earth, we are praised for that. God, He appreciates us that.
Hey, Teresa.
He appreciates us for this. It takes a lot to live. To live, it does. It takes a lot. So, yes.
Now on to what you was going to discuss.
Oh yeah. So, what we signed on for, we thought that we would share with you guys our versions, because we both have two different versions of when we first met and our first argument as a married couple. Um, for those of you that don't know, Joseph and I, we met back in 2000.
So before he goes any past that, you know how they say about a story. There's his version, my version, and the truth. So you're gonna hear both versions, and then y'all put together what you believe to be the truth.
But I want him to tell his
That's all
version
I'm
first.
gonna.
I'm going to let you tell your version
The
first.
versions of the story is basically the same. It's
No,
just,
not really.
yes, they are.
Because
It's
Joseph,
just,
you lies. You
it's
some
just
of the
certain
things you
little
just
details
embellish.
that's, no, there's just certain little details that are not the same, but the story is the same
It's the same, but
of how we
yeah,
met.
Joseph, he always tell it the wrong way. So go ahead and tell it, cause I know you gonna,
No,
I know you're gonna interrupt me when I tell my
so
side.
he was already working at Comcast Cable.
Yes,
I had just got hired in
I was
October
a
of
fine young
2000.
tender too. I was fine. I
So
was
me
cute.
and this girl in the training class,
All of this, all
we
of this.
connected because she was a lesbian and I'm gay. So we always sat there, we talked, we laughed, we joked, we had a good time with each other, you know, because we shared that bond that the rest of them couldn't share with us. So one day she said, I see this guy and y'all dress alike, y'all wear the same kind of jewelry, and I think y'all would be good together. He's chocolate, you caramel. And I was like, I ain't seen no man in here that I would like. But now on the low, I had already met somebody there that I didn't know
Wait a
worked
minute.
there.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. See how we done told this story a million times, and he always adding something to it. Who is this that you
You
saw?
know
that
who it is.
Who? Some
Yellow boy. I had met somebody there like months prior, or if you saw my story time, you saw what I said I used to be in the story time.
For real?
So I had already, you know, explored with somebody
I
on a job.
know you ain't talking about who I think you're talking
I
about.
am. So I had already, and I met somebody, but I didn't like them, and I left them standing where I saw them. You know who that is, and that ended up being one of his little good friends
Joseph,
at the
you
time.
better tread real
And
light
we
on this
didn't,
story. You
we
better tread
didn't,
real
we didn't
light.
like each other, and Tramel kept trying to make us talk to each other. But I had to tell Tramel, you know, I met him, and he thought he was going to go on a date with me.
You talk about right?
Baby Huey.
Oh.
When I left Baby Huey at the train station because I didn't like the way he looked, because he lied to me about how he looked. But the other one, we did a little smack and tickle. But anyway, Rahima introduced Rahima introduced me. She kept telling me about Tramel and kept telling Tramel about me, but we had never seen each other. So finally one day, she came running in the training room and she said, Joseph, come here, I got him. I said, you got who? Wait, girl, how I look? You know, I'm good. And she was like, come on. So I went in the hallway, and it was crazy because we were standing there in the same identical outfit, except his was gray, and mine was like, this gold. Mine was like canary yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of took me back because she told me, y'all dress alike, y'all wear the same kind of jewelry. So I'm standing there meeting somebody who is dressed exactly like me. So she introduces us, so we're standing there talking. See, this is where the story get a little shaky.
Mm-hmm. He felt a magnetic attraction. Okay. He felt the magnetic attraction of all of this. All of this.
No, what I couldn't understand is why he didn't catch the fever for the flavor of my Pringle right away like most men. Because he was standing there like it was no big deal. And I was like, oh, really?
He said I was conceited,
are we
but I wasn't
really going to give it to me like that? Okay. I said, okay. See, in my mind, I said, I know what it is. You think, you know, that I'm a little light-skinned and I already know I look good. So now you want to, you want to just play it smooth and just don't give me what you already feel. I know what I've had men say that before. Oh, you're used to people telling you look good. Well, I was, but that don't mean you can't say it. So he was, we talked, and I'm like, okay, why hasn't he asked me for my number yet? So I said, okay, let me take the initiative, because I'm really not one to take the initiative when it comes down to meeting people. I wait for them to do everything. So I said, okay, let me be bold enough and take the initiative. And I said, well, maybe we stood there, we talked for a minute. I said, okay, well, maybe, one day we could go out, hang out, or whatever. He was like, I have a boyfriend. My whole face dropped. I was like, oh, it's nice meeting you. And I walked back in the training room. Now, again, this is where the story gets a little sketchy. Because up to that point, other than me saying he was all arrogant and conceited, you agree with what I said?
No,
that, right?
I do not agree with you saying that I was
now, I said,
and conceited.
You don't agree with that part, but everything else I said was correct, right?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So now here's where the story really takes.
Here's
where the story will take a real 360.
Yeah.
So after that initial meeting, I was then being stalked because I went from never seeing Tramel ever to every time I turned around, I saw Tramel. Every break I went on, Tremel just happened to pop up. If I went to lunch, Tremel just happened to pop up in the lunchroom. I went from never seeing him to seeing him all the time. And I'm like, so you did catch the fever for the flavor of my Pringle. Because now every time I look up, there you are smiling in my
That
face.
is
Hey, how
lies
you
from the
doing?
book of lies, y'all. Take everybody, close your Bibles
If y'all
and
listen to the
close your Bibles and
podcast that
turn
we
to the back
made,
of them
if
and
y'all
turn
listen
to
to
the
the
book of lies
podcast
because
that we
Joseph is
made with the
lying.
Harrells, you will hear Rahima say he started stalking
Lies
me
from the book
after
of
that.
lies. It's lies from the book of lies. I don't care who. Joseph. First of all, y'all, I was working there first. I just was going on my regular breaks. I had 2 breaks and a lunch break, just like everybody else. So how did you, or how was I always?
Because I don't know. Because, I don't know. I went from never seeing Tremel to after being introduced to him. Every time if I just put
No,
my
he
head
just,
down
he
and went
just
like this,
noticed me.
Tremel was right in my
No, he
face.
just noticed
How
me.
do you go
That's
from
it.
never seeing somebody to then being introduced to
Y'all, he
them
lying.
to seeing them
I'm telling y'all.
constantly? I
I'm
just
telling
didn't
y'all.
under. I would go out on a smoke break. Never saw Tremel not one time. Now, after we met, all of a sudden, because I had to walk past his desk. So I know, when he saw me walk past his desk, he know what I was going to do. So he probably just said, I got to go to the bathroom or something, and then followed me outside.
You know what? I'm gonna move right on out the way. Because Thor is going to strike a lightning bolt right here and then when in the middle of us when you telling lies, Joseph. Now, you know that is not true. But anyway, proceed on with your little story.
So after that, like maybe a month or two later, I'm minding my business at my desk. And again, he's sitting next to me because he did overtime. And by this point, I'm out of training. And he goes, me and my boyfriend broke up, right? I said, good for you. Because
Trying to act like he
it's like, good
didn't
for
care.
you. So he was like, well, now we can exchange numbers and go out. Now, again, if you saw my story time, you know what type of person I was back in the day.
Uh-huh.
So I looked at him and I was like, he's a little tasty treat. I wouldn't mind a little smack and tickle. So I gave him my number. And maybe a couple of days later, he was like, so you want to go out? I said, we can, or I could just cook for you. So I said, I'll bag him. I'll cook him dinner. And I made him macaroni and cheese, barbecue ribs, and collard greens. So he came to my house, and he ate up everything.
Yeah, because he could cook. He used to cook. And I remember my favorite thing that he used to cook was barbecue chicken because he used to always get the Jack Daniels. That's when the Jack Daniels barbecue sauce had just came out. And he used to always cook me that with collard greens and macaroni and cheese, and it was good. Yeah, that part is true.
So then, we started seeing each other, if that's what you want to call it.
No, we started tearing
And
it
then,
up like
like,
newspaper because it
a
wasn't
month
about your
later,
right no how.
he tells me and my boyfriend are back together.
Oh, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Joseph, when did I tell you that?
You told me y'all were back together.
No, I didn't. I didn't
And
tell
I was
you.
like, really?
I did not tell y'all.
So then, at that point, I was already invested in him. So I was like, I would tell him, I was like, you coming over tonight? No, I got to go home. I was like, what? Or he would come to me out of the blue and say, I'm coming to your house. And I would say, okay. You don't remember this?
No, but I didn't.
And
yeah,
then I
yeah,
pulled him.
remember
And then,
that.
yeah, exactly. And I told him,
But
I
it
said,
wasn't because me and my
I'm not going to
boyfriend-
always be available for you. And when I want you to come over, you're not going to be available for me.
But it wasn't because me and my boyfriend had.
Well,
got
at
back
that
together.
point, it was fine because the other live we did when I told y'all I saw him in the bar with my best friend and he was over there. He was with his ex-boyfriend. And he called me over there and I'm like, what is he doing? His ex-boyfriend is an Aries like me. We're going to fight in here because if he says the wrong thing to me, I'm going to punch him in the face. And if he punches me in my face first, I'm like, what is he doing? He calls me right over. I told him no, but then he's like, he came and got me and brought me over there, introduced us, and his ex-boyfriend was like, oh, thank you for taking care of him when he's at work and bringing him home. And he has your picture all over his office,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
had it
sitting
like
there
that.
like,
I
child,
had it
not
like
me.
that. I had it like that.
He wouldn't have had my picture or your picture all over the room out here. I ex or not, he still wouldn't have had your picture up in my motherfucking house. So
I was irresistible.
long story short, me and Tramel hanging out, doing our thing. We go to the Christmas party. People at work that know his ex-boyfriend are calling me a home wrecker. I'm walking past his boss's desk, and she's
You ever
like,
see that went and told everybody at
"Oh no,
work
no,
that
no,
we
no, no! See, I
smashed?
left that part out that you went to work the next day after I put it on you, and you told everybody."
This lies from the book
No,
of
it ain't.
lies, Joseph.
No, it
Lies
ain't.
from the
Everybody
book
know.
of
Everybody
lies,
know. You went
Joseph.
to work telling everybody. Everybody. By the time I got to work, cause he worked earlier than me. By the time I got to work, everybody looking at me with a side
No,
eye.
it was written all over our face
I
because we was
no.
walking in there like we was just floating on a cloud.
Y'all know watching anything Tramel run his mouth more than me. Tramel went to work and told one person, and everybody. She told everybody, and everybody knew what we did.
No, I didn't tell her. She asked. She just asked me, and so when she
And
asked
he
me, I was like,
agreed.
yeah.
He could have said it was
I
none
didn't
of his
give
business.
details.
So then I was being called a home wrecker. They was telling me that I was a home wrecker. I walked past his boss's desk and she gonna yell out, "Pimpin' ain't easy." And I turned around and said, "You right, bitch, but hoeing is harder." And she's like, "I hear that shit." I'm like, "Y'all got the right bitch now, honey, because I don't have a conscience." He told me him and his man was broke up, and if y'all feel some kind of way because y'all like his little boyfriend, there's a new bitch in town, honey.
Joseph,
And
you be
this
adding
bitch
too much. You be adding too
ain't
much.
what?
You be adding too much.
What are you talking about? They called me a homewrecker because of you. Denise, Stephanie, should I go on? All of them called me a homewrecker because
Just
of
go
you.
on with the story and tell everybody how you left me and how
So it
how
got to the
we
point
didn't see
where
each other for 18 years
if
because of
Tramel
him.
didn't come to work or he was late for work, his supervisor would have my supervisor call me and tell me, wake Tramel up and get him out of my bed and send him to work. That's how bad it got. That's how everybody knew our business on the job because of him. Because I don't, my business is my business. So,
He gonna act like it wasn't written all over his face, y'all. Let me tell you something. I had threw it on him so good. It was written all over his face, and he was always trying to be cute. Anyway, finish.
so anyway, you know what? This is why our stories are different because
Cause he be
all the things that he get angry
'cause he
about,
always-
he swear they never
I swear
happened,
to
and they
God,
did,
y'all.
and they did.
every single time we tell
Just
this
like he's
story,
gonna tell y'all this part didn't happen when the boy called my house looking for him.
Oh,
The
God.
boy called my house looking for him, and that's when I
Oh,
said to
God.
him, I said, "What are we to each other? Because you know you're not gonna have your little bitches calling my house looking for you." And he was like, "I don't know who that was. I must have gave him your number by accident because my number, your number, and my sister's number, you know, that was all before cell phones, so it was a house phone. And his sister's house number was damn near identical to mine. It was
Okay, can I
only
clear
off
that
by
up?
like a number or
Let me
two.
finish. When you finish, can I clear that up?
And he was like, I said, "So what are we to each other? Are we gonna date? Because I'm really starting to catch feelings for you." And he was like, "You tell him what you told me."
Anyway,
Go ahead, tell him
I
what you
need to
told me.
clear up this little incident when somebody called him. Now, mind you guys, at work I had a name. I had a work name. We all had work names. You know, like when we started working there, they asked us if we had a nickname that we wanted people to go call us by, and I had a name that only people at work called me, and the name was Moet. So at work, nobody called me Tramel. They called me Moet. So he claims that somebody called him and asked, "Can I speak to Moet?" And I'm like, who would call him from work?
It wasn't no work. It was some boy.
It was well, it wasn't nobody. I wouldn't. Why would I give somebody your phone number and tell?
And not only was it some boy, it was some queen on top of it.
You know what? The Lord is really gonna punish you today.
You'll be swearing that they. So okay, so if that didn't happen, what made me ask you all out of the blue? What are we all
Because
to
let me
each
tell. I'm
other?
gonna tell y'all what happened.
He don't remember that.
I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. We had a Christmas party at work, right? Me and him went to the mall, and we went shopping, and we decided that we were gonna dress kind of alike, or we were gonna compliment each other because we were both going to the Christmas party together. So he got a leather outfit, and I got a suede one, right? You got the picture. And so that night, he asked me, "Okay, Tramel, what are we doing here? You know, Are we gonna be in a relationship? What's the deal with us? And I said to him, verbatim, I said, Joseph, I just got out of a bad relationship. I said, and I really need some time to breathe. I said, if you can perhaps give me like 2 weeks to think about it, then, I can give you an answer on it, because my thing was I didn't want to get into a relationship with him and just not give him all of me and give him the best of me, because I was so angry, because the last relationship I was in, the guy like really, really turned me out, both financially, emotionally, everything. He just turned me out. And you know that, Joseph. So here he go. Yeah,
That's the night of the Christmas party.
That's us 20 years ago. Yes, so here he go. Well, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting around for you to make a decision. I'll make this decision for the both of us. And then the next thing I know, I come to work, and my supervisor and his supervisor calls me into the office. Tramel, you're not allowed near Joseph. He doesn't want you near him anymore. He doesn't want you to speak to him, so don't speak to him. He put a restraining order on me at work.
Not a real police one.
He put a restraining order on me at work. Now, all of a sudden I hear this news, because word travels.
I had to protect my heart.
Words travel at work, right? You know how
when you work in a call center.
When you work in a call center, words travel.
Keep going. I gotta go.
So everybody's saying, well, Joseph is transferring. And I'm like, well, where is he transferring to? Oh, he's transferring to Baltimore, Maryland. I said, Baltimore, Maryland. The next thing I knew, they were having a big old shawam-wham party for him. And he left me and moved to Baltimore, Maryland. Fast forward 18 years later. 18 years later to the day, the last time I saw him was on his birthday in 2000. Right? It was 2000. And
no, the last day you saw me was April 15th.
Yeah, April 15th, the day before his birthday. And that was the last time I saw him. Fast forward to 2018?
Well, first of all, I left because I had to protect my heart.
He left because
and
he
I
was
always
being
wanted
mean.
to.
He was being mean.
And I always wanted to move to Maryland, so I felt that was my opportunity. I could transfer my job, leave him behind before he broke my heart, and start life anew.
Who puts a restraining order on somebody at work?
They just carried through with my wishes.
Sherry Shine, and Sophia Jordan, and Denise Drake.
Well, fast forward. Well, in between those, in that 18 years, social media had to come out. So we found each other on social media. We talked here and there, but yeah. I had a boyfriend, or he had a boyfriend. I was in Maryland. He was in Virginia. I was in Georgia. He was in Tennessee. So,
Yeah, we talked sporadically throughout these years. When Facebook first started, I think I joined Facebook back in 2005 or something like that, 2006 or something. No, 2009 actually. It was actually 2009.
And I joined a year later.
Yeah, and so through social media, we would say hi to each other through Facebook and things like that. But really, we just went on with our lives, and they brought me back to New Jersey. I had just gotten out of a 10-year relationship that ended, amicably. It was just a relationship that just ended. And
well, the real fun part was he didn't know I was back in New Jersey.
Right.
I didn't know he was back in New Jersey.
Yeah.
We just both, and I ended up back in New Jersey like a year before him.
Mm-hmm. So you could finish the story, because that part, you could finish that part.
Well, one day I was scrolling through Facebook, and he popped up. He never popped. He says I popped up on his timeline all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Jamel never popped up on my timeline except for this one particular day, which was April 14th. He popped up, and I was watching this live that he had made, and I was like, well, how? Because he was saying he was old now, and I was like, well, how old is he? I was like, how? I forgot how what our age gap was.
I was 50.
No, no, I mean from before. I forgot what our age gap
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
So I went in his inbox, and I said, hey, how you doing? I saw you live today. How old are you now? I said, because I forgot how old, you know. And of course, as soon as he saw it was me, he was like, oh my God, can I call you? Can I FaceTime you on Facebook? And I video message you on Facebook. I said, sure. So he video messaged me and he had a big old smile on his face. He was like, oh my God, you look exactly the same. I
And
was
of
like,
course, I fell for his feminine wiles. He was
said, I
batting them
know.
eyes.
I know I do.
He said, "Would you spend your birthday? Would you spend my birthday with
No,
me?"
we talked and had conversation.
But you said, Would you spend my
And he was
birthday with
like,
me?"
you know, I would really like to see you. I said, well, what are you doing? Because that was Friday. I said,
Yeah,
and
it
I
was a
couldn't
Friday.
see him Saturday because they would take me out to dinner for my birthday. So I said, well, what are you doing on Monday? My birthday was on a Monday. And I said, what are you doing on Monday? So he said nothing. I said, oh, would you want to spend my birthday with me? So he said, okay, sure. So we talked all that day. We talked the next day, that Saturday. I talked to him Saturday night, and he was like, I said, well, what are you doing tomorrow? He said, oh, I'm just going to church with my mother. I said, well, you want to hang out after church? He said, sure. You going to come get me? I said, yeah, I'll come get you. So
Wow.
I went. He went to church. He called me, and then I went to see him. Hey, Queen Bee. I went to see him, and that night at my dinner, I told them that I was going to see, because actually, before the birthday dinner, we had made the plan to see on Sunday instead of Monday. So everybody that was at the dinner knew that me and Tramel had prior dealings before, especially
Mm.
one of my friends, because she worked with us at the time, and she was like, look,
Shout
you
out to
know
Samara.
how you and Tramel's chemistry is. Do not go meet him and let him do whatever he did to you before.
He
I
couldn't
said,
resist.
no. I said, I'm not falling for Tramel's game no more. I'm grown. I said, no, that ain't gonna happen.
Wait, hold on. I ain't have no, you wasn't no game.
Well,
This
I
ain't no
said, I'm
game.
not falling for Tramel's game no more. I'm grown. I said, I was younger back then. I'm grown now. He's gonna have to come a little bit better than he did 18 years ago. So she was like, okay, whatever. Take your time and go slow. Because I know you and him. And y'all, like I said, y'all had that undeniable chemistry back then between y'all. Worried about Trumel? It's just Trumel. Child, please. So, oh God, Sunday comes. He calls me. He's like, my mother's running her mouth. I'm waiting for her to go home so you can come so I can meet up with you. I said, okay, I'm sitting here waiting on you. It's no big deal. So he only lived like 15 minutes away from me. So finally he called me, told me he was home. I said, all right, I'm on my way. So I went to get him and he came outside. I thought he was getting in the car. He was like, come inside. I was like, okay. He said, park right there and come inside. So when I saw him, it was crazy. It was like all that time didn't pass. All 18 years didn't pass. It was just like the next day from the last time that I saw him. And I was sitting in the car and I said, oh my God, so Mary was right. Whatever he did to me back then just all came flooding back to me. Like, as soon as I saw him, everything I felt for 18 years ago just flooded right back to me. And I was like, oh my God, this feels like it's just the next day. It doesn't even feel like all this time passed. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh
See how I make
my
him.
God.
See what I do to him. I make him melt
So
like
I went
peanut butter.
upstairs to his house, and the only thing in my head, because Tremel used to be thick. He was never fat. He was thick. And I was like, damn, he's skinny. And everybody know I love me a little skinny man. I was like, damn, he real skinny now. So he came to my house. Then that's when it all started, honey. That's when he started telling me how he loved me back then and he didn't want to hurt me back then and he just wanted to make me happy and he didn't think he could make me happy because he was intimidated by me and the type of person that I was because he knew I was a no nonsense person and blah 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 and I'm sitting there and in my mind I'm going, oh my god, he got me. He really got me back then. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, I really love you, Joseph. I always loved you, and I'm sorry if I treated you bad, and I know you hate me for what. I said, I don't hate you. I said, we never had a bad time together. I said, we always had fun. We always laughed. I left because I felt that's what I needed to do to protect myself. I wasn't mad at you. I can never get mad at somebody for telling me the truth. I'd rather you tell me the truth than you sit there and tell me yes, and then you hurt me, or I hurt you, or you hurt my feelings and break my heart for real. My heart wasn't broken. I was protecting my heart before it got broken. So I left. So the next day came, he came over for my birthday, and that's when it hit me. When he came over, I said, Tramel, do you realize this is exactly 18 days, 18 years to the day that we last saw each other in the same room, in the same bed, with the same furniture, in the same house. Everything was like exactly the same from 18 years ago. Because I was staying with my uncle then, and I went back to stay with him when I came back to Jersey. And he was like, no, I never thought about that. I said, Trump, this is the way it all started 18 years ago. So 4 days after that, y'all heard the other lie. That's when he popped the question. You want to marry me? I want to marry you. I love you. And I'm not letting you go this time. So because I had already felt in my spirit I was getting married.
Crying all over the place.
I was crying. I was.
I think we both cried. Didn't we both cry?
We both cried. So we got married 2 months after that. And it was like
That was
weird because it was like it was no caution to the wind. It was, will you, we got back together, will you marry me? Yes, I will. And 2 months later, I was Mr. McCray. And I'm like, okay, okay. You know, I was thinking things, and I was like, did I just tell him yes? And what am I about to do? I'm about to get married. And I was like, but it feels right. So I don't feel, I mean, it feels right. It doesn't feel
It
wrong.
seemed like it took
So
forever
I'm going to
for our
go
wedding day to come in.
with my feelings. Of course, that's when all the chaos started because according to him, I was a groomzilla.
Oh God, he was.
I wanted everything my way,
Yes.
and it just wasn't happening. So we ended up just
Then I
getting
put
married
my
in the
foot
house.
down. I put my foot down. I said, Joseph, damn it. I said, you know what? We get married on the 30th of June, and that's that. Period.
And
Point
almost
blank.
got hit by
End
a
of
car.
story.
And almost got hit by a car in the
Almost
process.
got hit by a car in the process because he gonna tell me, yeah, well, you're married your damn self.
And hung up the phone on him. So we get married, and you know, it's the happiest day of my life. And we, you know, now let's fast forward 30 days from our marriage date.
That was 30 days from. You know what? I don't even remember what that argument was about.
It was July. Oh, I do. It was July 30th because we got married June 30th.
Yeah, it was July 30th. Yeah.
Tramel goes on a rampage. He took our wedding book and ripped it to shreds. He pulled the wedding certificate off the wall and ripped it to shreds. Kept telling me this is what I wanted from the beginning. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, did I just marry this crazy man? We were having a conversation.
No,
and
no. He gonna grab the keys and talk about, well, let's go downtown right now and get on
No,
off.
that wasn't, no. At first, when he started with the ripping up stuff and this is what you wanted, this is what you wanted this. And I'm sitting there like, what kind of crazy lunatic did I just marry? We were just having a conversation, and he went from 2 to 100 in like 5 seconds flat.
It was the bipolar disorder.
But you should know, like, when a person is so nice, humble, and sweet, that there's a little crazy behind that somewhere. Well, I met the crazy that day. So I said, what I'm going to do
I owns my crazy.
is,
I owns my crazy.
before I show him my crazy and meet crazy with crazy, I'm just going to sit here and let him go through whatever he's going through. Because, you know, I'm trying to think logically. I'm like, if I let him go through whatever he's going through, he'll calm down because it takes two people to get into that headset. And if two people ain't in the headset, only one, eventually one will have to calm down if the other one is not at 100 with them. Not Mr. Man.
No, he ain't telling it all, y'all. We had both said we want a divorce.
No.
We want a divorce.
No.
I went on my phone. Well, I'm going to tell you what I did.
Tramel
I
kept
went on my phone.
provoking me
Let
and
me
provoking me.
Let me tell
No,
the
but this
story.
was, no, but before it got to that, Tramel kept provoking me and provoking me and provoking me. And I was sitting there and he snatched my phone and threw it up against the wall. You're going to fucking listen to me and blah, 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 blah. So at this point, you know, you just taking a match going like this. And when he took the phone and threw it, and he said, the match said, shh, and lit up.
Yes, because let me tell you something.
And when
me
it
Joseph
lit up,
when we had the every time we have a disagreement or an argument, this is what he does. Look, you see what he's doing now? Go ahead, do it. Do it for the people.
he'll yell and scream, and I just be like this.
That's what he does. That's when I'm talking to him. I'd be like, Joseph, I am talking to you, Joseph. Joseph, I am talking to you.
I'd be like, you done or you finished?
Hell no, I ain't finished.
So he, you know, that day, once he lit the match and I let the flame ignite, it was on and popping from them. Mm-hmm. My crazy was about to meet his crazy, and we was about to see which one of us was the most crazy.
Yeah, because I was pushing, I was poking the bear. I was just saying something. And the one thing that I kept on saying, y'all, to him was, you wanted this. This is what you wanted. You want me to act like I ain't got no damn sense. And he got mad at me, and he just started poking me in my face. He was like, don't say that again. Don't say I had little bruises
He's a
in
lie.
my forehead, little fingernail
lie.
marks in my head from him poking me in my face. He said, don't say that again. Don't say it one more. And I said, I'm leaving. So I put on my Gucci shoes. I had these cute little Gucci shoes. I put on my little Gucci shoes, and I had those cute little green sweatpants. And I had a red top on, and my king had to say, a king has no fear. And I was walking out the door, and I was like, I'm leaving.
He wasn't. He went to the closet, and he's gently folding.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Clothes.
I said I'm leaving, so I went to the closet, and I started folding up my clothes. And
so in the process of him going in the closet folding up his clothes, I said, "Fuck that, let's go." I grabbed my key. I said, "Let's go to the motherfucking justice of the peace right now. Get this bullshit enough, cause I'm tired of this bullshit." So I walked out of the house. I went downstairs in the car and went to drive
After he
away.
took all my clothes out of the closet.
I did drive away. I went to the grocery store and sat in the parking lot, and I was like, "This is not my boyfriend. I can't just leave. We live together now. This is my husband,
and
I can't just leave." So I sat there and Googled how to get an annulment, and I said, "Well, none of these things to get an annulment qualify for why we're getting an annulment right now." So I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to get a divorce. And I'm not paying $300 to get rid of it.
Oh yeah, and meanwhile I'm at home and I'm looking on my phone how to get a divorce. And I was like, wait a minute. $1,500. Oh,
I found $3. He went to $1,500.
He ain't taking my whole disability check. No, I'm not doing that. Okay. So I still wanted to fight. I still wasn't ready to like give in and stuff like that. So
no, because I came back. And, you know, he started talking calm. So I said, okay, I can calm down because my calm can meet your calm. Because I really wasn't turned up. He turned me up.
But then he said something.
I'm like, okay. You know, Tramel, calm down. This is not what I wanted. Yes, it is. This is what you wanted. And you're going to fucking... I said, oh, my God. He went right back to 100. So I'm like, would you just... I grabbed him and was trying to hug him. I was like, would you just calm down? No, I'm not going to calm down because this is what you wanted. I said, say it one more motherfucking time. Say it one more motherfucking time. So he said, this is what you wanted. And I just took him and pushed him on the bed.
Yeah.
So he got up on... You hit me. I said, I did not hit you. I pushed you on the bed.
Like, you fucking hit me.
You fucking hit me. So then he's like, I'm leaving! I'm leaving! And so he's folding his clothes, taking one piece at a time, folding his clothes out of the closet. I took everything out of the closet. I just yanked everything out of the closet. I said, this is how you leave a bitch. And threw it on the floor and shoved it in a garbage bag and said, now get the fuck out.
And give me my stuff. Give
And
me
he
my
was
phone.
like-
He was like, give me my phone. And give me my Apple Watch that I gave you.
And he was like, he said, now, see, because what he does is he pokes the bear. And then when the bear attacks, now he wants to look like
scared,
a
y'all.
deer caught in the headlights.
I was scared, y'all.
That's when I know that I have that look of kill on my face, because every time we have an argument, once Tramel gets that look of a deer caught in the headlights, I'm like, okay, he's satisfied now because he got me to where he wanted to get.
I was saying to myself, oh Lord, he gonna beat me, Lord. He gonna beat me. He gonna beat me, Lord Jesus. He gonna beat me.
So I told him, get out. So he goes out of the house. I said, get in the car. Where do you want me to take you? I'm not getting in the car with you. Because, you know, he like creating scenes in the middle of the street. I'm not getting in the car with you.
No. You gotta rewind. You ain't talking about how when you push me down the steps. He was like, Tramel, don't you walk out that door. Don't you walk out that door. If you walk out that door, you know what's gonna be. You know what's gonna happen. I'm done. So I start walking down the steps, and he said, Tramel. And I turned around and looked at him. He said, get out. And he pushed me down the stairs.
But see, I was still being nice. I was gonna take him wherever he wanted to go.
Now mind you, I get outside, right? I ain't got no key to the house. All I got is my phone, and I got about $5 in my pocket.
Right, he ain't going nowhere folding one piece of clothes at a time. I mean, he literally took it out, was just folding it nice and neat, putting it on the bed, like he was just rearranging stuff.
Now, mind you, guys, we lived in a gated community.
But
I didn't even know how to get to the bus stop. Okay, so he gets in the car. He's following me around.
No, I told him to get in the car.
Well,
first I was going to run him over. And then he realized who he was dealing with. So as soon as I was going to step on the gas and then pump the brake, he jumped up on the sidewalk because he must have realized this bitch is crazy.
I was getting ready to cross the street and he just sped up the car. I was like, ooh. I said he was getting ready to motherfucking run me over. He was getting ready to run me over with the motherfucking car. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how.
Walking. No, you was walking. And you was walking out the front entrance. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? I said, your feet fucked up anyway, you crippled bitch. And I just drove past. And I said, that'll teach his ass, let him fucking walk. So I drove off and went and got my uncle something to eat because he wanted me to get him something to eat. So I went and drove, and then I came back, and I didn't see him no more. So I'm like, whatever, because he didn't have his phone because he left it on the bed. I made him leave his phone on the bed. So now I'm sitting there like, because I'm calm now. So I'm like, where the fuck is he? I'm like, where the fuck did he go? He don't know where the fuck he at because he had moved with me.
Yeah, I didn't know where I was going.
I'm like, he don't even know where the hell he
Lord
at.
have mercy, where am I going to go, Lord Jesus?
So he walked all the way to the grocery store, but he went the wrong way because he went out the front of the complex.
Because I didn't know where I was going. The only thing that was in the area, the only thing that was in existence outside of the gated community was a grocery store.
And the bagel bitch.
And the bagel store where the bagel bitch worked. You want to bring that one up?
So he walked to the store, his little feet hurt so bad he had to sit on the bench and pause for the cause. Then he realized where he was, and he came back. He came back the shortcut way. So I saw him out the window, and he was knocking on the door, and I wouldn't. You better open this door, and I'm like, oh God, he's gonna, because he loves creating a scene in the middle of the street.
Oh yes, I love. Yes,
he's the scene. He loves creating. He's one of the people that will. Either you're going to get embarrassed or you're going to stand there and create a bigger scene with him. He one of them. So I went downstairs and opened the door, and he stormed upstairs. I don't believe you. So he stormed upstairs. So finally, I let time go by. I didn't say nothing. I stayed downstairs, watched TV. He upstairs watching TV. I was tired. I was drained. I was emotionally drained from his little shenanigans. I went upstairs. I laid down. And he was like, we need to talk. I said, are we going to talk or are you going to go back to 100? Because if you're going back to 100, there's nothing we need to say. And he was like, no, we're going to talk. I said, okay. So we talked. And I said, you see how ridiculous you sound? You see, all of that wasn't necessary. And he was like, yeah, you're right. It wasn't necessary. I said, I apologize for getting up there with you because I was in control, but you just had to keep pushing my buttons. I don't know why I do that. Blah, 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 blah. So as you see, one of them. As you see, we didn't get a divorce or an annulment.
Oh no. Actually, that argument was the catalyst to bringing us even closer together. Because what you guys have to understand is we hadn't seen each other in 18 years. So us getting married, we got back together 18 years later, yeah. But we were only like not married for about 2 months. Yeah. So we really didn't know each other. I didn't know Joseph, and he didn't know me. All we knew is that we loved each other and we wanted to spend the rest of our lives with each other. And so that argument was the catalyst to us being what we are today. And that's like...
And even with our 2-year anniversary coming up, you still got to remember, it's 2 years of us getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Because we didn't date. We didn't take that time to date. Most people right now wouldn't be married. They would still be boyfriend and girlfriend, or at least engaged.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't believe in all that long engagement shit. And I'm engaged, and we're getting married in 2030. Bitch, I could be motherfucking dead in 2030. I don't believe it. I just wasn't one. I didn't believe in long engagements. I didn't want to wait a year to get married. Even if it took me just getting to know him all over again.
Y'all can't really see this.
Yeah. But this was a wedding gift that someone gave us. This is a picture of us on our wedding day. You know what? Let me get this light, and I can show everybody what it looks like. This was a wedding gift that someone gave.
You gotta put it on top of.
Yeah. But it's a picture of us. It's a 3D picture.
It's one of our wedding pictures.
You see that? It's a 3D picture of us.
And it says always and forever.
Yeah. But yeah.
Put the light back.
But, at the end of the day, Joseph is my rock. Sometimes I really feel, and we talk about this all the time. Sometimes we look at each other. Him mostly, he'll look at me and say, I can't believe I'm married to Tremel McCray.
I can't.
and we laugh about it, but at the end of the day, Joseph is my rock. I don't care. Nothing can come in between us. There's nothing that can come in between us as far as I'm concerned. He saved my life so many different times. He saved my life. If it wasn't for him, I don't think that I would be sitting here alive and well today. It's because of him. I have a reason to live. There was one time in my life where my bipolar disorder and my depression was just so significant in my life, and I just allowed it to take over my life. But because of my soulmate, I'm a totally different person. He has changed me. Love has changed me. When you guys say that you see the love between us, and that you love what you see, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work, and it took a lot of dedication. We're dedicated to one another. We're dedicated.
And when Tremel says work, I hate saying it took work.
Yeah, I hate saying it
because it really wasn't work. It was just something that came natural. It was, I love you, you love me, so
we just learn how to appreciate.
You have to learn to compromise and accept things. That this is who I married. This is who he is. It was nothing that was quote unquote a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, and not judge.
It was nothing that And like we said before, I had to love him completely. It wasn't "I love you, but," which it could have been "I love you, but you're crazy," or "I love you, but."
Yeah,
You can
because he
always
know I'm
point
crazy.
out the things that you don't like about a person, but at the end of the day, if you love them, there's things they don't. He can give you a whole bunch of buts about me,
Yeah. But I mean, I
because
can,
I know
and
I'm a
vice
lie.
versa, vice versa. But that's the whole that's the thing about being married. You can't love with buts. You have to love unconditionally.
Right.
Unconditional love means no matter what, no matter what flaws, no matter who they are, no matter what their opinions are, right or wrong. You know.
And you see, the first argument we had, our first reaction was to leave, because that's what most people do. The
Hmm.
minute something don't go right, you leave. You don't want to be bothered. I don't have to be bothered with this. I don't have
Right.
to be bothered with you. I'll go find somebody else.
Right.
And nowadays it's so easy because you have all those apps on your phone. You don't have to leave the house to meet somebody else.
Hmm.
I could just sit there in the comfort of my own house. You piss me off, I leave your house and go home and find me somebody new.
Right.
And if they give me 5 minutes more of whatever you was giving me, then I can just say screw you and never talk to you again because I was good on ghosting people. Oh, I was good at ghosting you.
Yeah.
You be talking to me today and tomorrow, and by 5 o'clock today, you would never hear from me again. But it's different when you really love that person. It's different when you really want to be with that person. You have to figure out ways to make it right for you.
Right.
And I'm not even going to say make it work, but make it right for
For
you
you.
because
Yeah.
it's going to work
Yeah.
if you want it to work.
Yeah.
And like he said, can't the only thing that could break us up is us.
Yeah.
Period.
And sometimes you have to reach back into that first time that you met or that first time you lay eyes on them or something like that. Sometimes when he's laying down and he's asleep, I look at him, I stare at him, and I'm like, man, I'm so blessed. I'm blessed that I have this person in my life that loves me unconditionally no matter what. You know?
Because that's not an easy thing to find, especially
No,
nowadays.
no, it's not.
So when you get one, you better appreciate
And
them.
you better hold on to them.
Cause
And if somebody try to come in between you, you beat them in the face. Yes, beat them in the face. Spin them, slap them, and fuck them up.
again, and I will say this to the day I die, can't nobody come in between you and yours but you and yours.
Hmm.
Because people can try. Don't get me wrong now. That's
And
not
they
what I'm
do.
saying.
They
People can
do.
try.
They do on a daily basis.
But the fact is, you're in control of that. You're in control of whether they succeed or not. It's not them. I don't care
Hmm.
how many times you come at my husband. I don't care how many naked pictures you send him. If he doesn't entertain you, it's him. It's him that let you in, not you. You didn't infiltrate my marriage. He let you in. He's the one who broke up this marriage, not
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
He did by letting you in, by
Hmm.
not telling you no, by not telling you to go kick rocks, bitch.
Right.
And I always stand by that.
Hmm.
'Cause can't nobody mess up what's yours,
That's
but
right.
you,
That's right. And always
because you
remember
let
that.
them.
And the one advice that I can give people is this: is that if you are wanting to be in love or be married or have a relationship or a positive, healthy relationship, you know, just open up your heart and take the guards down and stop. Don't bring what has happened to you in previous relationships into a new relationship because you may potentially be missing out on your potential soulmate.
I'm gonna leave you with well not leave you, but I'm gonna tell you something that's powerful that I heard today that is so true because people say it about me, used to say it about me all the time, and I said I don't see what the problem is. The way you love you is the way you teach people how to love you.
Mm-hmm.
So people will see how you love yourself, and then know. Like he just said it. He said he didn't want to hurt me. He said he knew I was no nonsense because that's the way I loved myself, and he was able to see that I loved myself. My friends told me used to tell me all the time, "Who do you think you are? You really think highly of yourself?" I sure do, because if I don't think highly of me, nobody else is gonna think highly of me. And as long as I think highly of me and I treat myself good, then guess what? Any man that comes into my life understands that you got to compete with me. You got to treat me the way that I treat me. And I don't treat me half-ass. I don't love me half-ass. I love me completely, 100%. I walk around, and when I say this, I don't mean the best as in Gucci or Fendi. I give myself the best of what I want. So if I want a $5 shirt from Target, I'm going to wear it like it's a $500 shirt from Nordstrom, because that's just who I've always been. If you the way you love yourself, you're teaching everybody else how to love you. So if you don't love yourself, people can see through that. People can see when you really love yourself versus when you're faking it. When you and that's something that we don't tend to think about. You know, people always say, "How can you love me if you don't?" Like RuPaul always says, "You can't love
How you gonna love
somebody
somebody
if
else?
you can't love yourself."
Yeah.
But it's how can you need to love yourself so that people see how you love yourself and they know how to love you back. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you don't have any questions, we'll give you about 5 minutes to answer questions. As you can see, Jomel is getting a little uptight and like he's wanting our attention. He was in the back of me. He was like scratching me, like, "Okay, Daddy, let's go. It's time
And I'm
to go.
hungry. I haven't
It's
eaten
time to get off the
all
camera."
day.
Yeah, for those of you that somebody asked in the comments, how do we come up with the name Jomel? Jomel is Joe Mel. Joe Mel. Joe
Joseph and
Mel.
Tremel.
That's how we came up with his name. Um,
Now we may do something because Jomel's mama is about to have another litter.
yeah, so
So we're trying to think now of a name for his brother that we're gonna get.
yeah,
So we're trying to come up with a name. I said Joel, but that's close to Jomel. So we trying to find a combination of our name again to give the new
yeah.
puppy.
Because originally we were supposed to get two puppies at one time from the mother, but we changed our mind. And we were going to name one Jomel, and the other one, his name was going to be McCray. But um, that we didn't want to do that. So we've come up with a list of different names, but we just haven't decided, which we were going to do.
I like Jomel and Joel, but he don't like Joel.
Yeah, and we need to get him a playmate because he won't let us touch each other. We can't hug. See, I can't touch my husband. I can't hug him. Nothing. He'll have a fit. Like if we leave him on the floor, he has a fit and starts barking and carrying on like you would not believe. Um, but I guess you guys don't have any questions, so we're gonna get on out of here. We thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that the story times that we told you were entertaining. Please make sure that you're following us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter under the McCrae-Kingz umbrella. We also have our podcast. Go over to our podcast and listen to Love
There
and
are
Marriage.
Apple and Google Podcasts as
Yes.
well as Spotify. So if you have Spotify, there's nothing you need to download. You just go on Spotify, do a search, put in the McCrae-Kingz, and you will find all our podcasts. We are going to start doing podcasts again,
Yeah.
and we are going to. Well, we have to get in touch with two couples we know. One that is on this live right now, because we want to do a live with two other married couples, and call it
Cocktails
and
Conversation.
conversations, where you have just two other couples of black men that are married, so you can get the perspective not just from me and Tremel, but from them as well.
Yeah.
And you can ask questions, and we're just gonna have drinks and talk. And once people get tipsy, you never know what comes out of their mouth. So we want to do the cocktails and conversations. We want to do more podcasts because we haven't done our podcast in a while because our YouTube has been picking up. So we've been more concentrating on the YouTube. But if you go to our podcast, you will definitely like it. It's totally different from our YouTube. Totally different from the YouTube.
Yes. And guys, we're trying to at this time. We're trying to raise some revenue so that we can get better equipment. As you can see, our equipment that we have, we're lucky to have it, but it's not so good. And we really would love to bring you a better production here. And so we need your support. So those of you that wish to support the McCrae-Kingz platform, please Cash App us. The Cash App is scrolling across the screen right there. Our cash tag is the $, the MKingz, that's Kings with a Z. Or if you feel as though you want to contribute and purchase one of our items in our Amazon wish list, please feel free to do so. It's called the McCray Studio. And if you wish to send any emails or you have any questions or comments, please make sure you comment on this video in the comment section, or if you have any questions for our Q&A, um, um, you know,
Email
show,
us at
just
the
email us.
McCray-King's Corner. It'll be in the description box, but it's the McCray-King's Corner.com. Gmail.com. The McCray-King's Corner at gmail.com.
Yes,
And,
that's it. We thank you. We really thank you.
I
Thank you.
would say if you want to book us for something, but I ain't coming out till the
Yeah,
corona
we ain't
done.
coming out, honey, until the coronavirus is over. Once they find a cure, we'll be out and about.
Because we were gearing up for all the gay pride events and
Yes.
stuff like that, and now most
We
of
don't
them
know.
probably won't even be happening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we don't. Our total season is ruined. I mean, we stood to gain a lot of money from doing public appearances and stuff like that. But hopefully, this whole thing, this whole pandemic will calm itself down and just completely disappear. And again, guys, please, I beg you, we want you to be here with us for as long as you can. Please be careful and adhere to the quarantine. I know it's not easy being in the home all day, 24/7, and sometimes your husband or your wife might get on your nerves. But just please adhere. Try to adhere to the quarantine, and make sure your family is adhering to this quarantine. This is so serious. We're losing. And listen, guys, we see it from the front lines. We're here in New York, which has the most cases of the coronavirus right now. And I'm telling you, just this past week, 15 people died in one day. I think it's over 700. It's almost close to 800 deaths in New York City alone. And that might sound like a small, minute number, but it's a big number of people that have died, and not just elder people, not just people over 55. It's younger people, and it's kids and babies. And when you go outside and you're being irresponsible, you're not adhering to the quarantine, you're putting someone else in danger, or you're putting yourself in danger and in harm's way. The hospitals don't have the equipment. They don't have the equipment to help everyone. They in the state of New York, they placed a no resuscitate order, which means if you go into cardiac arrest, they will not resuscitate you, and it's not because they don't want to, because they choose to. It's because they just don't have the necessary equipment to save lives the way they want to save lives. So please, people, I beg you, just be careful and protect yourself during this time.
and if you have any products and you want us to give you a shout out or talk about your products, of course, sponsor it.
You can
Email us, let us know that I just have an issue. Tremel does the hair, so if you have hair products, send them to him. He'll wear them and do all of that.
Yes.
Me, if it's like lotions or things like that, I ain't promoting nothing until I try it, and I'm just being for real. Because I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody buy lotion. As soon as they buy it, they all break out in hives, and then they be coming after me.
Lisa Gibson asked a question.
What did she ask? Why do you think that it hit New York like this? Because New York is the epicenter, meaning that everybody comes to New York, and I think a lot of people traveled to New York
It's a
and
big
didn't know
tourist
they
place.
had it because my friend that has it works down by Grand Central Station, and they said that's like where it all is stemming from.
Yeah.
The office buildings in by Grand Central Station and Grand Central
Yeah,
Station
hundreds and
itself.
hundreds of people come to New York every day to
And that's
like
the
tour,
reason why
visit.
Jersey is suffering so bad is because most people in New Jersey work in New York.
Right.
So I think that's why New York got it so bad, because when people travel, the first place if they ain't going to California, they're going to New York.
Shout out to Shantae Maria. She's on here. Shantae, I love you. I love you so much, Shantae. Shout out to you. Guys, go over to Shantae Maria's page and watch her page.
Yes, because
subscribe to her page.
I googled that quarter thing after I saw your video.
Yes, yes.
And I was like, oh, for real?
Yeah.
There's a bet.
We're gonna talk about that on Thursday. So we're gonna talk about the bet being on the quarter on the U.S. currency. But shout out to you, Shantae Maria. I'm so glad that you and your sons are okay. Guys, go over to Shantae Maria's page. She is one of the sweetest content creators on YouTube. I'm telling you, her content is just amazing. She's an amazing person. I look up to you so much. You're such a beautiful person. And I'm glad that you and your sons are okay. You know, there was a big tornado watch out there in Chicago where she's at. But I'm so glad, I was so glad to hear from you today. She sent me back an email letting me know that she was okay. But guys, we're going to get on out of here. We're going to get on out of here because we're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, make sure that you walk in peace, love, and happiness, and sunshine, and always remember, it's Team McCray.
All damn day. Peace, y'all.
Talk to you soon. I don't even know where the mouse is. I can't even find it. You turn the damn thing off, god damn it!
You see what I'm saying? You just don't know what you're doing.